Hey you! Do you want a Mario Maker 3 for the Nintendo Switch too? And have you considered what it could even be about? Alright, first off, and probably one of the most obvious ones, Super Mario Bros. Wonder as a game style, right? Super Mario Bros. Wonder as itself brought a fresh new take onto the 2D scene of Mario, a literal game changer for the whole level itself, and I'm not exaggerating. With the new concept of the Wonder Flower, it made every single one unique on its own. Also, the new art style it went for with a more cartoony look and the new animations that took more influence into making it more wacky or fun, as well as the plethora of new power-ups that were implemented into this game, is all just gold waiting to be discovered. The new Super Mario Bros. Series is something that I've always had trouble understanding. These games, sure, they do look like Mario, but to myself, is what you would expect to see on a 2D Mario game. With Super Mario Bros. Wonder, it felt different. It felt new, refreshing, and challenging in some points. And if this is what Nintendo delivered, I can't imagine all the potential that is being held. But hey, if we're expanding on the idea of what makes Mario, well, Mario, how about if Mario Maker 3 featured the options of making bosses on 2 levels? Now, I'm not referring to the simple bosses they feature on Mario Maker 2. I'm talking full-on stage bosses that could even take up all of the screen. Because let's be honest, Nintendo's own level design on the new Super Mario Bros. Series often felt the same, which is something that I haven't understood till this day. What I do appreciate is the beauty of the bosses of the new series and also the Mario Wonder bosses. This concept of world bosses or full-on stage bosses is seen on Mario Maker 2, where people make their own custom bosses with the tools they have, and it's something that I can truly find a lot of beauty and creativity in. So what if it was actually real? What if this was an actual option for Super Mario Maker 3, where you can have as a climax of the level a battle against Bowser or the Koopalings or King Boo or any other enemy you could think of from the new Super Mario Bros. Series? And that's not all. How about an expansion into the already existing Mario Maker world? You might be asking of what do I mean by that? Well, the world creation was a fantastic way into making every single player feel like a developer and release their dream 2D Mario platformers. But is it really that complete? Well, if you ask me, the answer is obviously no. The worlds on 2D Mario are characterized of toad houses, side quests, secret pipes, or even secret paths, or even fast travels to new worlds. All of those features are what's missing on the original world creation, which, if you ask me, are a must when calling a Mario world an actual Mario world. A true adventure does not focus itself onto the ending, but more so the journey, and the 2D Mario games are characterized by that. It has variety and side quests that shine within their own game style and mechanics. I mentioned Mario Bros. Wonder as a new game style a few moments ago, but why stop there? I don't think we would ever have a real reason of why they weren't more game modes, but I will acknowledge that the intention was there. Seeing how we had the Mario Bros. 2 mushroom or the Link Sword power-up, it was clearer than water that Nintendo wanted this, but for some reason it never happened. So let's actually do it this time. Looking back at how Nintendo added extra game styles to Mario Maker 2, I've always wondered if how would Super Mario Bros. 2 levels could have been, or also Super Mario Land 2 from the Game Boy. These games that have their own spark and have only been restricted to the official developers to make new levels. Just think of all of the things the community can do with these game styles. It was proven when they added the Mario Bros. 2 mushroom. So what is stopping us now? And again, let's not stop here. How about the creation of puzzle levels from the Mario vs Donkey Kong series? Or also, as a little detour, the creation of Captain Toad levels where in a grid type of world you get to make a puzzle out of thin air. Or how about, and please keep up with me, how about for a super weird revival to have Mario Pinball Land as another form of making levels? I know it's a super niche type of levels, but think about it. It's fast, compact, and ready for making plethora of levels from the community. With the implementation of these new styles in game modes, we could also see a special warp pipe that can let you change the game mode mid-level. Just imagine you're zooming through a Super Mario World level and then take that warp pipe and suddenly you're in another game mode with the gimmicks all turn 180 degrees on you. I feel like all of these additions would not only add more to the creativity into a simple custom Mario game, but also expand the concept of Super Mario Maker onto the next level. And that's not even all of it. How about in the levels there was another way to beat it, a secret way that only true seekers will encounter and grant them different rewards than a simple recognition. Something that goes along the green stars of Mario Galaxy 2 or the hidden moons from Mario Odyssey that milk out the exploration factor. I know it's not the main focus when it comes to 2D Mario games, and that it's basically from point A, get to point B. But if we truly want to revolutionize and come out with a new game, I think all bets are off, and that every idea, if well thought out, could become possible. Like how also in resemblance of the 3D Mario games, make it so that the worlds don't become so linear and have the player collect a certain amount of coins or get silver stars to unlock a certain door or path. And it's not nonsense that I'm speaking. With Nintendo making the requirement option into the game for Mario Maker 2, we're expanding on that idea to be required to do something before you get to the main thing. That way each level created by the fans have a certain something. We've covered up pretty much everything that Super Mario Maker 2 lacked. Either it was features that we expanded more, or new concepts that haven't met the light of day. But I think it's time we discovered the grand feature Nintendo's missing out of. I think it's time to break out of that dimension. I think it's pretty obvious this was going to be the last one, right? It is an obvious and overall fantastic idea that we could do true 3D Mario levels on Super Mario Maker 3. Have new adventures on the classic Mario 64, get through new secret zones on Super Mario Sunshine, or overall travel a simple galaxy on Super Mario Galaxy. The concept of making 3D Mario levels, it is not at the same level as saying 2D Mario levels. These games made a much more powerful impact on the gaming industry, so the fact that in a new future game we could do our custom levels in these physics or in these universes would just rise up the nostalgia even more. It's an idea that it has been passed throughout the years, and to me, I seriously hoped it would have been added on Super Mario Maker 2 through a new extra game style. But history tells me once again that good things take time. The question is, how would they make a 3D game engine so simple? I don't know, I'm not Nintendo. With the capability of the mouse function in the Nintendo Switch 2 and the overall improvement from the first one, it's safe to say that hardware-wise, there is no problem. The problem is in the how, and that's something that it may restricted the overall release on Mario Maker 2. How can you make a 3D engine UI and logic so simple a 5-year-old can understand it? If you ask me that question, well, I would probably keep everything as it is for the main UI, but when it comes to actually navigating the entire stage, I would have a drag and drop features like it already has been, but add a gizmo to an entity when selected. That way it is way better to actually do a level in a 3D space. So basically Blender. For Super Mario Galaxy, I see it practically impossible. For Super Mario Sunshine, I only see the secret zones possible, but for Super Mario 64 or even a Super Mario 64 style gameplay with modern graphics, I think it's totally possible to have a closed space have this thematic of a 3D Mario creation level. But I guess time will give me the reason of this actually being possible or not. We've discussed room for opportunity from the original game, new features and new game modes that would overall bring a lot of creativity into the community, more options for bosses or special paths in levels, and a new 3D game engine of Mario 64. All of these are amazing options if you ask me, since, well, I've wrote them down, but all of these options, as I've said, just make me wonder over and over again. Is it really a new game Now, I'm not going to sit here for another, I don't know, hour debating on what is a new game and what isn't, but this is all that I want for a new release of Super Mario Maker 3. I'm probably missing points that some other people want, but if I can't remember them, then maybe they are not that important to me. With these features, I think Nintendo could seal forever the Super Mario Maker saga with a third and final release. But is it really a full-on fledged new game for everyone? Because it does kind of adding more into the original and not bringing something particularly new that changes things from the last one, you know? We didn't work on it, we just kept on adding more and more things. Knowing Nintendo, I think that Mario Maker is going to have at some point the same treatment that Mario Party Jamboree had. Exclusive console, new content that just adds more into the concept itself, like new modes or new power-ups. It would be a dream if a 3D Mario game engine is available to us in the next years, and considering it has been 6 years since the release of Mario Maker 2, it's not wrong to say that they are probably cooking something up with this franchise. And this is not just me saying it, I can assure you Nintendo is cooking up a revival of this series on their new console. The new mouse feature on the Nintendo Switch 2 is just a screaming solution to the lack of actually having a faster way of designing levels on the Switch 1. And also, it's Nintendo. Even if a console didn't do good when it was released, they know the proper time and date to bring it back to try again. So as I've stated on this video, time will be the judge of that. And we have nothing to do for this situation than to just wait. So, is it out yet? Bro, it's been 10 seconds, what the f? So, have you been wondering where is Mario Maker 3 as well? If so, please tell me what are your most desired ideas on the comment section down below. I'm 100% confident Nintendo will bring this series back at some point. Anyways, that's all the time that I have right now. Thank you so much for watching this video, and as always, this has been The Bitoons, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Adios.